Hey, hockey fans, and welcome back to another edition of Puck My Life. I know it's been a little while since I've been on here. I apologize. Been going to a lot of games recently. 17 teams into the 30 team goal for this season. So as of right now, I am on track to do that. I am just gonna barely make it. Hopefully, some other things pop up to where we can kind of give ourselves a little bit of cushion in case something falls through on the tail end of the season. But as of right now, the way things that are set up, I should be able to hit that goal. In the meantime, tonight we're going to go over my Wisconsin Badgers game experience that I had at the Kohl Center. So the Kohl Center is located in Madison, Wisconsin. And for me to get out there, it's 7 hours and 45 minutes, 489 miles. So the story on this, so my wife has some friends that live in the Madison area, so she wanted to go out there and visit them. And one of the nights we went to the Badgers hockey game. So her friends like hockey as well. So we all went. It was just a cool get together that we had with her friends one of the nights that we were there visiting them, and had a good time. So 489 miles, 7 hours and 45 minutes for me to get out there. And here's the inside of the Kohl Center, a beautiful building inside and out. And when I got in here, I was hoping that they would fill the barn. I know on games where they have, or nights when they have the basketball team playing, I know it gets crazy. They pack the house, and I was really looking forward to see what it was going to be like for their hockey team, what kind of crowd that they would draw. So just a few more shots of the inside of the building. Is nice concourse, very clean, well organized. There's a lot of history with this team. This school's been around for a while, and it was cool to see some of the different displays that they had. This one had some hockey stuff in it. The jersey there signed by some of the alumni, and the stick as well. So just a really cool experience. And I do like it when college teams do this. I always try to find this section in a college arena if I can. And this is the wall where they have any of the players that played for that team where they went on to play in the NHL. And so it's kind of cool. You see one of the guys there, Elliot. He actually played for a few different teams. And so it's just really cool to have their jerseys hanging in there just to pay homage to some of the alumni that came through the program and did go on to play at the top level in the world. All right. So the first thing that I like to talk about in these game experiences is the parking. So it is in a downtown setting, which can make things difficult. So we actually parked in lot 46. The parking at the time that we went, it was like $8 for us to park. I think it was we got there earlier in the day, and then it got more as got closer to game time. It was around $20 because what we did is we went down and checked out the school and walked around a little bit. So we were already there. We paid like the daily rate and everything like that. So I would suggest getting into one of these three parking lots. There is that smaller lot there that is mostly handicap accessible. So if you need that, that is nice and close. There is a few limited spots there, but I wouldn't bank on having that available. For lot 87, I would look into 46 or 91, if at all possible. Those ones are nice, close walks. 29 was a little bit around the corner. I mean, it was a little bit smaller lot from what we saw, but it wasn't too bad. But I would recommend sticking with 46 or 91 if you can. All right, so for tickets. So tickets aren't really that bad to go see them. So just to show you what it's like to go and check them out now, I know the ticket prices have gone up since we went a couple seasons ago, but right now you're looking at $24 plus $2.50 per ticket for a processing fee, which really isn't bad for a D1 school. They're in the Big Ten Conference, and for like $26.50, you're going to get some really good hockey. I would suggest going if you can when they are playing another Big Ten team. You're going to get a good turnout for that. good matchup, and it just seems like it hits a little harder when they play other teams in the Big Ten. It means a lot more to them as well. So if you are looking at going, I would strongly suggest going on a night when they play another Big Ten team, and then also you can get their tickets right on their website. You don't have to go anywhere else, and they're the best ticket prices that you're going to find around. All right, next up is the merch. So after we got around and walked around the concourse, we came over and checked out the Badger store. So I was actually quite impressed with this. Of all the different college teams that I have seen over the last couple of seasons, this has to be the biggest team store that I've seen in the arena. Now there are a lot of team stores that they have that aren't in the arena that I've seen with some other colleges, but as far as the team stores go that are in the arena, this is a pretty big one. Now, you will notice in some of the pictures, I'm going to go back one. There's a lot of just regular merch in there. This is not all for the hockey team. They just have a lot of regular Badger merch, but then they also have stuff for their volleyball team and their basketball team. Any team that uses this facility, they will sell some stuff in there. They do cater it to whatever sport is going to be in the arena that night. So when you first walked in, you do see the hockey apparel there, and then also the jerseys. Going back to the jerseys, they are sponsored by Under Armour, and I thought the jersey prices were okay at 140. The quality was pretty good. I'm not a big fan of white jerseys. If I get a white jersey, I end up getting something on it at some point. So I try to stay away from them if I can. Unfortunately, they did not have another option for that at the time, but it is what it is. It's still a really cool jersey, and I thought the price point was fairly decent for the quality of the jersey. All right, these are the two pucks that I did get from the game. The one there with the old school Badger on it, I did not realize it until after I got it home that one actually has a sticker on it. Then the other one is the official game puck, and that one is printed on there. So if I had to do it again, I would probably just get the official game puck and not deal with the one with the Badger. I just thought it was cool. The puck prices were a little bit high. The one that's the official game puck was $12, and then the other one was $10. So keep that in mind when you're there at the arena, that the puck prices are a little bit higher than probably what most people pay at college games. All right, concessions. So there was a ton of options all throughout the arena, just regular concession stands. You can see, I mean, I thought it was a little ridiculous that it was $6 for a hot dog. I'm just saying, like some of the prices were kind of high, as you can see there. I usually, if you look back in some of these videos, I always get people like whenever seems like I'm getting pictures of the concessions, there's always somebody like spotting me taking pictures. You can see the guy there throwing up the peace sign, and then that lady just like, what the heck is he doing? Why is he taking a picture of this? I also strongly suggest this if there is a concession stand you are looking at going to. I always like taking a picture for my personal, just so like if I am getting hungry during the game, I can check and see what the menu is and see which one I want to go to, so I don't waste a lot of time going around, because these lines fill up quick once it hits the intermission. So just a little pro tip for you. Then they had the Smoking Badger barbecue, which smelled really good. Prices were crazy. I think a pulled pork sandwich was like $18. Then they had like the little kiosk that you see at like a lot of the games with the popcorn and the cotton candy and Dippin' Dots. So they really did have a good selection when it came to concessions, but it was more on the pricier side. All right, next up is the atmosphere. Now, I talked about earlier in this that, it's at a big school. I was hoping for a good turnout, but unfortunately, that is not what happened. So I'm going to show you a few clips from the game, and you tell me in the comments what you think. So yeah, that was maybe got like another 15% fuller than that. That was pretty much it. I was actually really surprised at how big the student section was. A lot of times when I go to these D1 games, it's like I'm really excited to see what the student section is going to do. I've been spoiled with going to Yost and checking out the children of Yost, and then also going to Western Michigan and checking out the Lawson Lunatics. So I've seen some of the best college student sections in the country. And this one, it was very disappointing. I don't know if it was just there was something else going on campus. I think it was like, I think this game was a Friday night. So it's like, I didn't really know what was going on. But yeah, it was just not a whole lot. I think it was, I will say this, it was Halloween weekend. I do remember that. So that probably did play something into it. But at the same time, too, you have the highest level of hockey in the country and you have a pretty good squad. I was really disappointed in the turnout for that night. But like I said, it could have just been all the festivities and the parties and keggers and stuff going on with Halloween. That might have just done it. But yeah, I was a little disappointed. Here's another clip just to kind of show their band. And there really wasn't much to talk about here. So yeah, not bad, but like I said, when you go to some of these other games that I've been to, it's a pretty small band. Like I said, the student section was pretty small. When we go over some of those other game experiences, you'll get a chance to see just how much more the student section was on fire and the band was rocking and stuff like that. They weren't bad. They were a good band. They played well. It's just that it felt like there was just a lot of there was a lot of room for improvement as far as just getting the people in the building. The atmosphere was not what I was expecting. So pretty disappointed on that part. All right. So for tonight's puck score, I gave them a 7 out of 10 for parking, a 9 out of 10 for tickets, a 9 out of 10 for merch, concessions, 8 out of 10, and atmosphere, a 3 out of 10, giving them a total puck score of 36. They did not get any wow factor points for this game, and so their score ends up being a 36. So overall, I would go again. I would say this, I wouldn't go out of my way to go to one of the games unless it was for like a big rivalry night. I do want to go back and see what it is like when one of those nights are happening, just to see the difference. I mean, like I said earlier, with it being the holiday weekend and everything, and you're at a party school, that could have played a lot into it. But I had some higher expectations after going to some of the other college games from there. I thought it was going to be a lot better than what it was. Unfortunately, it wasn't. If you've gone to see the Wisconsin Badgers, let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you thought. Is what I was talking about with the puck score, is that pretty good? Would you rate them any differently? Let me know below. I did enjoy my time. It was definitely a good game in a nice arena, nice clean facility, but I just felt like the atmosphere, as reflected in the puck score, was the part that they were lacking in the most of. And again, like I said, it could have just been that weekend, but that's what it was like when I was there. So if you've gone there before and you've experienced something different, let me know in the comments below. So if you haven't already, be sure to check out the Instagram. The link will be below, and you can also go in there and check out our link tree. We have a lot of cool stuff over there as well. We are gaining some good traction over there on Instagram. Things are starting to get a little bit better, and we're reaching out to you guys and doing a lot of fun stuff here in the next a little bit. I do have a couple of hockey trips planned coming up here in the next little while. I do have a really big one that's planned up where I'm going to try to go and see 8 games in 11 days. Now, some of these games have already been booked. I'm going to be going out to Pennsylvania and hanging out with some friends, Matt and Kyle with the Glass Bones Hockey Podcast. You can go back to our Instagram page, click on the link tree, and click on podcast partners, and you can find them down there along with some of the other podcast partners that we've collaborated with in the past. So be sure to go and check those guys out. Great group of guys. All those guys, any of the guys that I have on the podcast, great group of guys. Check out all their stuff. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to do some collaborative content with them coming up in the next little while. So yeah, it's going to be a crazy ride to the end of the season. Like I said, 17 out of 30 teams that I have seen so far this season. So there's still a decent amount left to go. And as of right now, like I said earlier in the video, it looks like I'm just barely going to make it. So hopefully a few other things pop up that I'm not expecting. Cause if you've listened to any of our content over the last couple of years, we don't even know where we're going to end up. Actually, even the next trip that I'm going to be going on, that you're going to start seeing some content dropping soon for, is one that I wasn't expecting at all to have happen. I mean, especially even this time of year. So some things had changed and I'm just going to go for it. So another 2 teams will get knocked off here shortly. And then we got the big trip coming up here in a little bit. So stay tuned. Enjoy the ride. You guys have a great night. Just remember, over here at Puck My Life, it's all for the love of hockey. Have a great night, and we'll see you at the rink.